All right, so you can kind of see that it's hard to read. So I was thinking about how different languages actually write and read in different orientations. So in Japanese, they actually traditionally read vertically from the right to the left, but Western culture actually influenced them to switch to horizontal reading and writing from the left to the right. Internal funny meter, basically everybody has a different sense of humor. I feel like I have a great sense of humor, so I figure if it's funny, it's funny. If it's not funny, it's not funny. But when people don't laugh at things that are completely funny, like a little child running up to his grandmother and giving him a flying hug and knocking him over and knocking the wig off, that's the problem. They're not laughing at that. Punctuation and emoticons, that's always kind of made me angry when people use 5 exclamation points, 5 question marks in the text message, and then they send a second text message with 2 words on it. It's like, just delete those 5 and then send me 1 text message, please. So everybody has different color preferences. Mine is orange. I love orange, and it actually means that I'm energetic and creative. My brother's very calm and cool-headed, so I like to think that his favorite color is blue, and he would be that blue guy up there. But different cultures have different meanings of what color means. So in the US, red means vitality. It can also mean anger and rage, but in China, it means joyous and prosperity. Pronunciation, if you can't read that, check out a dictionary. But yeah, I hate how there's different accents in this country that you can't understand. When you need to ask somebody to repeat themselves, and they grew up in the same country as you, if they need to repeat themselves 4 times, that's a problem. You need to teach non-regional diction in the schools in this country. So spelling, all these things are kind of messed up, but we grew up in the age of backspace and spell check. So we need to proofread everything that we do, and it's kind of annoying that people don't do that. I'm awesome. All right. So people need to do that more often. Universal thinking. This is probably my favorite thought process that I've had, because the universe is everything that there ever was and ever will be. So they say it's expanding, though. So how is it expanding into nothing? You need to have something for it to expand into. So that gives me the thought that maybe it's folding itself through time. I don't know. You be the judge. Athletics. So every 2 years, we kind of fall in love with the Olympics, but I'm actually not going to talk about the Olympics. I just thought that was a cool thing to do. Football. So why can't I play football? Well, it's genetics. I'm just not tall enough. No matter how big and strong I was, I would never be anything in football. I would never be an NFL linebacker. Bucket list. So besides the normal stuff on my bucket list, like raising a family and having children, I have pretty much adrenaline-filled, adrenaline junkie stuff, like skydiving and robbing a casino like in Ocean's 11 and streaking in the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But what's the point of a bucket list? Why don't we just do these things because we want to, rather than when we get to be old? Animals and evolution. Basically, what I was going for with this is that animals are amazing in how they've evolved to adapt to the different circumstances that they've been presented with. Like polar bears, they've developed webbed paws so that they can swim better through the Arctic oceans. Snakes can sense heat. Sharks can smell a drop of blood in an ocean of water. Mermaids, yes, I'm serious. So these mermaids could have evolved from water or apes that went to the water to avoid volcanic eruptions. We have evolved from land apes, but there could have been ocean apes out there that, through the fish fatty acids, developed the brain capacity to survive. Work hard, play hard. So basically, what I'm going for here is that people go to work every day and they work hard. But when they come home, they don't play hard. They grab a beer and sit in front of the TV. So why don't we do things that we like and not do things that we don't like? It's kind of a problem, and nobody likes being a bum sitting around watching TV, being unsocial. Beer. When I'm working at Capitol Brewery, I get this request all the time saying, hey, what's your lightest beer? And I have to ask them a question. Do you mean light in alcohol content, light in color, or light in flavor? And that can mean the same thing sometimes, but it can also mean our blonde Doppelbock is very light in color, but high in alcohol content and heavy in flavor. Our dark is actually very dark colored, but high or light in flavor and light in alcohol content. Relationships. I was going to say something else about this, but I'm actually going to talk about how you can have relationships with different types of beings. So you can have a relationship with your dog, you can have a relationship with your friend or your loved one. And basically depends on what level you connect with them on. And you really, in order to maximize that relationship, you need to be able to figure out what level you connect with them on. Innovation. It's really awesome to see how innovation works. I mean, we've got the organic gardening and stuff like that, the high-tech flight simulator. But there's not nearly as many inventions anymore. They're all modifications based on previous models, like the iPhone series and stuff like that. Nobody really invents things anymore because it's all been invented. The internet actually weighs 0.2 millionths of an ounce. I did the math. Well, I didn't do it, but I researched it. All the pictures, videos, emails, and articles actually take electrons to store, and electrons have mass. 50 kilobyte email weighs 2/10,000ths of a quadrillionth of an ounce, and the entire internet is 5 million terabytes, so you do the math there. Evolution of technology. The whole I-series is retired year after year after year because the 4S is going to be completely obsolete once the 5 comes out. And you know, people will still stand in line, even though it's still some of the highest technology out there in the 4S, people will still stand in line waiting for the 5 and completely throw away their 4S. I say time travel. This guy says aliens. Read some of those memes. But in 100 years, who knows where our technology is going to be? We might actually have the ability to time travel. You might be looking at me like I'm a crazy guy, but we might actually be able to help hover those big stones or whatever up to the top of the mountain. Power of habit. You all start with the same cue. Maybe you're angry or sad or something like that. So what do? You might drink or you might smoke, and then you'll feel better. But the power of habit, you change your routine once you feel that cue come along. So you can go work out or socialize with friends, and you still feel that same sense of accomplishment there. I'm going to end it with entrepreneurship, which is the most important thing that we need to drill into the heads of our young people. Because throughout all these economies crashing and the fiscal nightmares around the world, the only way I can see us backing out of that is through entrepreneurship, creating something out of nothing. And I think it's really important that people learn that and deal with that. So.